Sagicor Bank is 7 o'clock.
What is the Popeyes Challenge Cup? The Popeyes Challenge Cup is Jamaica's newest and boldest football competition, featuring David versus Goliath matchups as the best in the country's club football take on those in the second tier of club football. It's a straight knockout competition featuring 25 teams, 7 from the Jamaica Premier League and 18 from the Jamaica Football Championship, the second tier. The 7 JPL teams are invited and are ranked based on their finish in the current season, as they will not enter the competition until after being eliminated from the JPL playoffs. The JFC team seedings are determined based on their rankings in the league as at May 2. Teams will battle it out over 6 rounds to determine the winner. So how does it work? Round 1, the play-in, will feature 14 teams, all from the Jamaica Football Championship. Pot 1 will have 5th to 10th place teams, and Pot 2 will have teams seeded 11th to 18th. Round 2 will have 8 JFC teams, the 7 Round 1 winners, and the 4th ranked JFC team. Pot 1 will have the top 4 ranked JFC teams, and Pot 2 will have the next 4 remaining teams. Round 3 features 6 JFC teams, 4 winners from Round 2, and the 2nd and 3rd place teams, and 6 JPL teams will enter the competition, excluding the JPL champion. Pot 1 will have the top 3 ranked from both JPL and JFC, and Pot 2 will have the others. The next round is the quarterfinals, featuring the 6 winners from Round 3, the JPL champion, and the 1st place from the JFC. It will be a random draw with no pots. Teams then proceed to the semi-finals and the final. Each team will get prize money based on how far they advance in the tournament. A total of $4.75 million in prize money will be paid out, with the winning team taking home $1 million. There's also a $50,000 purse for the top goal scorer and the winning coach. Get ready for the newest and boldest club football competition in Jamaica. This is David versus Goliath. This is the Popeyes Challenge Cup on CVM TV.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, FLA to return to court over bid to block Integrity Commission report. 3rd Guardsman victim airlifted to Atlanta. And Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal unveils new digital trackers. For traditional flavors, Bush Tea, a refreshing pair with Callaloo cornbread muffin. And later on in sports, 15-player squad for ICC Women's T20 World Cup unveiled. Hello from Kingston, Jamaica. This is CVM News at 7 for Friday, May 29, 2026. I'm Caroline Brown. Thanks so much for joining us. And we begin with this update. The 3rd survivor of the Guardsman Group explosion has been airlifted to Atlanta, Georgia for specialized medical treatment. Unfortunately, external contractor Richard McQuire succumbed to his injuries from Thursday's blast. Now speaking to CVM News, the survivor's partner says the transfer represents an important step in his recovery as he continues to fight through extensive injuries.
Was impressed at how fast they responded, how they turned up, showed up. They had persons on the ground. Even while he was in the hospital, they had persons on the ground getting the stuff he needed. But he was in a lot of pain, and the body, the burns to the body, it's severe.
The Supreme Court has refused an application by the Firearm Licensing Authority, the FLA, seeking access to an Integrity Commission investigative report into alleged corruption and irregularities at the agency. The court ruled the document must remain confidential until it's formally tabled in Parliament. Carla Ramdeen has that update.
The report, which is yet to be tabled in Parliament, examines alleged corruption, irregularities in the handling of firearms license, and concerns about the storage of firearms and ammunition at the agency. The FLA had originally gone to court seeking to block the report from being tabled and discussed in Parliament until it was first reviewed by the court. Attorney at law and FLA legal representative Nico Pagan explained the agency's position, arguing that the report is open to judicial review.
Beyond the point that we are saying that the report in its entirety is susceptible to judicial review on the well-known basis for judicial review, which includes failure to give or consider due process, or what we describe as fair hearing, illegality, which is if, for example, the act itself was breached by the Integrity Commission, among other things.
The Supreme Court, however, dismissed the application on two grounds, citing Section 53(3) of the Integrity Commission Act, the provision often referred to as the gag clause, which prevents the Commission from disclosing details or making public statements on ongoing investigations until a formal report is tabled in Parliament.
The court believed that, notwithstanding there being a challenge to the report, that the report is not necessary for the purposes of the court considering whether or not to grant leave for judicial review.
Despite this, the court granted permission for the FLA to appeal after the agency argued that there was a failure to consider other relevant provisions of the Integrity Commission Act in reaching its decision.
Other provisions in the Act, when read together with the Constitution, that we believe, in our opinion, would allow the court to grant the order, and because the point is novel, the court granted leave to appeal so that the matter can be challenged on appeal.
The matter will be brought before the Court of Appeal on September 17th for the FLA's application to be heard. Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
Now, the Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal, JAMP, in its continued efforts to enhance trust in public bodies, says the development of its digital accountability tools should ensure government fulfills post-budget and sectoral commitments. Chairperson Carol Narcisse stresses effectiveness, integrity and accountability of public bodies are not abstract governance ideals. They are matters that affect the quality of life of every citizen. Here's more from Crystal Williams.
According to former Prime Minister of Jamaica, Orette Bruce Golding, keeping an eye on your government is good. This is why the Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal, JAMP, is introducing new digital accountability tools that track the compliance of public bodies with the governance framework codified in law. Executive Director of the Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal, Jeanette Calder, says the accountability tracker will record an overview of the public body, the rate of compliance, key compliance results, along with indicators of this compliance.
So we will always show you who is the head of the agency, who is the board chair, who is the minister with responsibility, and who is the accounting officers as the four, responsible and accountable. And what you have on the right by no means is an exhaustive look at what the government has put in place to ensure that these public bodies are creating an environment where they can thrive.
She also outlined the compliance indicators that are taken into account.
Board composition, the governance structure, the audit and internal control, reporting and compliance, and ethics and behavior.
However, former Prime Minister Golding warned that oversight bodies must not expect unanimous government approval.
Public officials do not instinctively embrace oversight and monitoring.
JAMP says it is aiming to update this database annually. With respect to this timeline, the private sector organization of Jamaica posited that government officials need to respond when written to. This is how JAMP's tracker will ensure the information on the public body is as current as possible. Carol Narcisse is JAMP's chairperson.
Because JAMP does not invent the information it puts up, It relies on all the public sources of information, and that is a bit of a challenge, but it is an ongoing update exercise. The ministries have to respond to the access to information requests, and if a year goes by and they haven't...
Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says Jamaica must strengthen its disaster preparedness and response systems ahead of future emergencies. Speaking at a National Disaster Council meeting, the Prime Minister outlined several reforms aimed at improving resilience and recovery efforts. Let's get more from Kevin Black.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is calling for a major overhaul of Jamaica's disaster response system, saying the country must move toward a more integrated and data-driven resilience model following lessons from Hurricane Melissa. He says ODPIM must be transformed into a full national resilience agency with stronger coordination across government and emergency partners.
ODPIM is an absolutely important institution, but for many years not having been tested, it has become inward-looking and essentially existing for existing's sake. And the organization needs real intervention.
Additionally, Dr. Holness renewed his call for a national identification system, saying it would improve the delivery of disaster relief.
You had to go through a registration process in COVID to get the grant. Then you had to go through a registration process in Beryl. And you had to go through a registration process in Melissa. If there were just one unique registration number with your registration ID linked into a national database, there would be no need for this very laborious process.
The Prime Minister also credited Jamaica's fiscal preparedness for the country's post-storm response.
This government was able to respond immediately because for the first time in a long time, this government was able to save for a disaster. Government planned, put in place a catastrophe bond, which yielded a payment, and then we used the funds strategically for the recovery of critical public services.
Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
To another update, relief could be coming soon for Caribbean businesses, particularly small and medium-sized enterprises. The Caribbean Development Bank and IDB Invest signed a new agreement aimed at making it easier for businesses to export goods across the region. Now, in an exclusive interview with CVM News, the CEO of IDB Invest highlights the organization's ongoing work to help Caribbean countries grow stronger economies. Here's Amoy Harriot with more details.
Small and medium-sized enterprises account for as much as 70 to 85% of businesses across the Caribbean and provide roughly half of all jobs in the region. Yet, many still struggle to access the financing needed to trade internationally. It's why regional leaders now hope a new agreement between the Caribbean Development Bank and the private sector arm of the Inter-American Development Bank IDB Group, IDB Invest, could help ease some of those challenges by making trade financing more accessible. James Scriven is CEO of IDB Invest. He says the agreement was signed on Wednesday.
So together with the Caribbean Development Bank and ourselves, we've got a program to be able to help SMEs, medium-sized enterprises, to be able to export within the continent and outside of the continent. And this trade facilitation program will allow them to do that.
Mr. Scriven is in Barbados for the IDB Invest Sustainability Week alongside some 800 business leaders from 46 different countries. Part of the mission, he says, is to help businesses do more than just turn a profit, but also help Caribbean countries build stronger, more resilient economies, especially as many of them continue to recover from major economic losses in recent years.
When it comes to the Caribbean, there are two very big areas in which we work in. One, renewable energy. The benefits that the Caribbean has is access to solar, to sun, and access to wind. So a lot of the work that we do is working with companies to be able to generate their own energy with using solar panels and wind farms.
The other area, he says, has to do with adaptation.
As you know, the Caribbean is unfortunately a very vulnerable sub-region in our continent, subject to acts of nature, hurricanes, droughts, and many acts that could affect businesses, could affect physical infrastructure. So a lot of the business that we do is making those physical structures more resilient to effects of climate.
Now, 2025 was a record year for IDB Invest, with the institution reporting more than $13 billion in financing and investments across Latin America and the Caribbean. This year, Mr. Scriven says the goal is not just to surpass those figures, but to ensure the investments translate into real impact for people in the region.
So, access to financial services, we lend to institutions to lend to MSMEs, small and medium-sized enterprise. We talk about how many ports we built. We talk about how many roads we built and how many kilometers. So everything we do targets indicators of development. And we've got a special tool that we call Delta, that is a development effectiveness tool that measures every work we do, access to beds when it comes to health and education, access to teachers. So all these indicators are particularly a focus of developmental impact that we do.
Amoy Harriet, CVM News.
And CVM News at 7 will continue right after this.
This is Flow, Jamaica's fastest mobile network, as verified by Ookla. It's the result of a complete network rebuild, with more power backup to reduce outages and satellite backup for greater mobile stability. You can even make regular calls using Wi-Fi. Welcome to our new era of connectivity, and we're not stopping there. This is Flow, Jamaica's network.
Before the first patty is made, there are hands that raise it, hands that grow it, hands that move it, hands that bake it, and hands that serve it. For Jamaica, by Jamaica. Through challenges and changing seasons, they stood strong. They built with us. They believed. To every farmer, every team member, every partner, thank you.
I challenge you to a race tomorrow. Challenge on.
Here at Connex, we reward innovation, resilience, and creativity. These are the core values of Connex. Connex, Caribbean engineers at work.
Lasco Food Drink is everything you need to support your family's nutrition. Have it at home or take it with you every day for all-day energy. Lasco Food Drink has your favorite flavors, including low-sugar options so you sacrifice nothing. Packed with protein, calcium, vitamins, minerals, including iron. Lasco Food Drink is the winning taste and nutrition for your family. Nutrition never tasted so good.
Also try Lasco Soy as a lactose-free alternative.
There's nothing like a Jamaican greeting.
Yeah, look.
Blessings.
Yo, man them.
Father, move
Celebrating 25 years of connection. Every call, every click, every message, and every shared moment. Digicel, powered by you, connected by us.
Welcome back. So glad you stayed with us. Megamart's Portmore branch is set to close its doors at the end of June after 27 years in operation, sparking concern and disappointment among workers and customers. CVM's Akeem Arith visited the location for this report.
Behind me stands what has been a major part of Portmore's commercial history for nearly 3 decades, when Megamart opened its very first store here on September 1, 1999. It introduced many Jamaicans to large format supermarket shopping. Now on June 30, 2026, this store will officially close its doors. That now marks the end of an era for many residents.
Kind of sad, because to see it from the mall just come up, it's me about 30 years. Almost. Yeah, so, you know, kind of somber. Like a friend of flyway, I got migrate or something, but, you know, it's a nice place. But, you know, we are a shop now, that's the thing people ask the question.
I'm not feeling good. I shop here all the time. And Megamart closing is not a good feeling. Trust me, and a lot of concern about the staff today. I'm going to out of job. Time is tough. Recession. So it's going to be hard on them. Plus, we normally come get our nice bread in there, the big bread. Have to go other places to get it. The carnation bread. Look forward to the Thursday if you get one. So that is a big blow for me.
While many customers have since expressed sadness that the store will be closed in a few weeks' time, one customer, Cadian Russell, argues the store's closure at this time is not a good decision.
I don't think it's fair to a lot of persons because, yes, I know there's a lot of competitors out there, but remember, it's based on how we Jamaican people get paid. It's not everybody can afford to go to the big price mart and buy in bulk and stuff like that. And I think what Mr. Azan should have done, remember this is Portmore. You cannot make Portmore and Waterloo price with the same thing. You understand what I'm saying? You have to make sure any business that you're doing, make sure it's business that is needed by the community and that the community can afford.
Chairman Gassan Azan, describing the move as a very hard decision that could affect about 200 employees, has widely expressed that the Portmore branch had been loss-making for some time. This, for customers, led them to finding new stores for shopping.
Well, I have Price Mart and the supermarket that I usually go to. So I have different places for different things.
Honestly, after maybe go to Shoppers Fair, but I love Megamart.
My options, well, if I don't have any choice, I do shop at Price Mart, but only for certain things. I do also shop at Master Mart for certain things, but the reason why I like Megamart is that, one, it's very spacious. You can get to move about freely. The options is higher than some supermarket, because as I said, I shop to other places. So when it comes to items, you can definitely come here and definitely show that you will get your items at Megamart. So no, we don't know where we're going to do. We have to go outer port.
For many residents, Portmore Megamart was more than just a supermarket. It was a landmark shopping destination that served the community for 27 years. Reporting from Megamart in Portmore, I'm Akeem Arith for CVM News.
Thanks, Akeem. Now, a Jamaican-owned tourism company is being recognized for its contribution to the country's tourism industry. At a special Thanksgiving luncheon marking the 27th anniversary of Leisure for Pleasure Holidays and Tours, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett praised the company's resilience as well as its role in Jamaica's tourism success story.
Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett is hailing Leisure for Pleasure Holidays and Tours Limited as a shining example of Jamaican resilience and entrepreneurship. Speaking at the company's 27th anniversary Thanksgiving luncheon recently, Bartlett praised the Jamaican-owned entity for helping to position Destination Jamaica as a leading tourism brand.
We didn't build an agency from the ground level up. You breathe life into it. And in your unyielding passion, grit, and unwavering belief, you made Destination Jamaica a desired place for so many visitors. So as tourism minister, I'm filled with immense pride today to see a completely homegrown Jamaican company, not just surviving, but thriving and contributing so significantly to our nation's historic tourism success.
Bartlett says the tourism industry remains vulnerable to global disruptions, making adaptability critical for survival.
Tourism is driven by many what we call vicissitudes. In other words, we are subject to disruptions, many disruptions. We are a vulnerable industry. And you saw it with SARS, and you saw it with 9/11, and you saw it with COVID-19, and you saw it with Melissa. And what it requires at every step of the game is to pivot.
The minister also pointed to the government's Tourism 3.0 strategy aimed at creating greater benefits for Jamaicans through stronger local participation in the sector.
What I want you to then embrace with us is what the new tourism is going to offer. And you hear us talk about Tourism 3.0, which is a whole new look at how we insert ourselves in the critical value chain of tourism and the principles of local first as a driving force to enable more of our local people to gain better and earn more and get more wealth from the tourism that we have in Jamaica.
And while attracting visitors is important, Bartlett says quality service is what keeps tourists returning to Jamaica.
Bring the visitors, come. But it's not to bring them, it's to service them. And it is a service that you provide that enables them to return time and time again and give Jamaica the record that we now have of being the only country in the Caribbean and arguably the Western Hemisphere that has a 45% repeat business. Meaning to say, every time the hotel wakes in the morning, 45% of the visitor they had last night are there this morning.
The Thanksgiving luncheon was held at the Medallion Hall Hotel in Kingston. Reporting for CVM News, I'm Giovanni Hamilton.
Floral tributes were laid at the National Heroes Circle Thursday, marking what would have been the 96th birthday of Jamaica's 5th Prime Minister, Edward Seago. Speaking at the memorial, Prime Minister Andrew Holness and local government minister Desmond McKenzie reflected on Mr. Seago's monumental impact on the nation.
Government members gathered at the National Heroes Circle to honor the late former Prime Minister and Jamaica Labour Party leader, Edward Seago. He was hailed as a man whose influence spans Jamaica's political, economic and cultural landscapes. Reflecting on Mr. Seago's legacy on Thursday, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness noted that the life he lived serves as a profound lesson in resilience for all of Jamaica.
And I can tell you, I have seen him experiencing the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. But he never lost faith with the Jamaican people, never lost faith in the vision. He knew praise and he knew criticism.
The Prime Minister went on to outline ways that the nation can continue to honor Seago's dedication to nation building.
We honor Edward Seago when we invest in young people and prepare them for productive lives. We honor him when we protect Jamaican culture and treat it as a source of national strength. We honor him when we protect Jamaican culture and not try to exploit it for political advantage.
Meanwhile, local government minister Desmond McKenzie remembered the former prime minister as a decisive leader who elevated Jamaican culture on the global stage.
Edward Seaga was never a talker. He was a man of action. So today, as we celebrate his 96th birthday, I want to say to Jamaica, this man came, he saw, he conquered. He made Jamaica a better place. Not just locally, but internationally.
Kevin Black, CVM News.
More CVM News at 7 after this.
Say yes to the new onion ring zinger from KFC. The time by KFC is
7:30.
Finally said yes to onion rings. Now it's your turn to say yes to the onion ring zinger from KFC. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Lasco Food Drink is everything you need to support your family's nutrition. Have it at home or take it with you every day for all-day energy. Lasco Food Drink has your favorite flavors, including low sugar options, so you sacrifice nothing. Packed with protein, calcium, vitamins, minerals, including iron. Lasco Food Drink is the winning taste and nutrition for your family. Nutrition never tasted so good.
Also try Lasco Soy as a lactose-free alternative.
What is love? Love is when my uncle gave me the money to help start my shop. My auntie and I made her famous recipe even more delicious. And it starts with the best dressed chicken and a little extra love. No, my shop is famous to the people that matter the most to me, my community. So I only serve the best dressed chicken. Raised without antibiotics, it's all of the best for my customers. If anyone's going to add something to my best dressed chicken, it's going to be me. Only the best can be called the best dressed chicken.
Already have a T-Tag for your vehicle? Just top it up and go through. Download the My T-Tag app, available on Google Play Store or the App Store, and add funds to your T-Tag from anywhere you're there. Also, keep checking the LED screens at our toll plazas for periodic promo codes, which will give you bonus T-Tag credit when you enter it in the My T-Tag app. Top up your T-Tag and continue to go through quicker and cheaper on Transjam highways.
Lasco Food Drink is everything you need to support your family's nutrition. Have it at home or take it with you every day for all-day energy. Lasco Food Drink has your favorite flavors, including low sugar options, so you sacrifice nothing. Packed with protein, calcium, vitamins, minerals, including iron. Lasco Food Drink is the winning taste and nutrition for your family. Nutrition never tasted so good.
Also try Lasco Soy as a lactose-free alternative.
Finally said yes to onion rings. Now it's your turn to say yes to the onion ring zinger from KFC. KFC, it's finger licking good.
What is love? Love is when my uncle gave me the money to help start my shop. My auntie and I made her famous recipe even more delicious. And it starts with the best dressed chicken and a little extra love. No, my shop is famous to the people that matter the most to me, my community. So I only serve the best dressed chicken. Raised without antibiotics, it's all of the best for my customers. If anyone's going to add something to my best dressed chicken, it's going to be me. Only the best can be called the best dressed chicken.
we welcome you back. It's time now to bite more into Paige's Callaloo cornbread muffins and see how the traditional flavors became even more exciting when the chef picked fresh fever grass from the garden for a combination of sip and bite from the soil.
This is a very forgiving recipe, so it's very easy for you to try. Just remember the basic ingredients, which is flour, cornmeal, baking powder, sugar, and of course the spices.
And a tubs of salt.
And a tubs of salt. And I would like a tubs of vanilla.
Of course, there's only one way to tell if this vegetable callaloo, lightly steamed and mixed in with these basic cornbread muffin ingredients, then baked, is a wow.
So here are your muffins. They're hot, and they're lovely and ready to go. Give me two.
And in today's digital world, look what gets the first bite before the lowdown.
So the Mexicans do a muffin with vegetables in it. They even use some cilantro, they have carrots, they have tomatoes, sweet peppers in it, but mostly tomatoes and sweet peppers. And it's a kind of a Tex-Mex style, and it's spicy. So when you eat it, it's very savory and interesting. And it's something that goes very well along with meat dishes and stews, because corn and beans, when combined, give you a perfectly balanced protein mixture for you. And the Mexicans have known that for many years. So they grow a lot of maize, and so they've evolved their dishes. One of the dishes they've evolved is cornbread, from a basic cornbread to a cornbread with other additives. And so I thought to myself one Sunday when I was doing Sunday brunch, which we do here every Sunday, I'm so tired of a regular muffin. I said, why not? So we just threw the callaloo in it, and we actually didn't cook the callaloo. So it came out a little bit too coarse. So we recognized that we had to steam the callaloo, and then we put it in. And we found that it was really good. Initially, we did it with coconut milk as well. So it had that nice coconut callaloo vibe. We do rundown all the time, but we've never done rundown with callaloo in Jamaica. But in other parts of the world, spinach, cassava leaves, they stew that down with coconut. Especially in African countries, we use a lot of coconut. So you can add coconut to many things and it will make it taste just right. But without the coconut, it tastes excellently as well. And I kind of wanted to reduce the caloric level, because coconut milk adds additional calories. And this is now an accompaniment in the category of a starch. So I didn't want to increase the calories by adding the coconut. So I took out the coconut milk and just made people have it with the callaloo, because then it seemed a little more healthy and less fattening.
Is this something that you were trained for, and how many years have you gone?
So I've never been to culinary school, but I did watch my grandparents and my mother and our helpers that would cook for us throughout the years. And one thing about my parents, if you couldn't cook, you couldn't stay. So you had to be able to cook. So I grew up eating very